Good morning, freedom fighters. It is 5:20 a.m. East Coast time, October 9th, 2024. Very unusual weather system being pushed out in front of this hurricane. I find it very odd also that all of the lightning is now out in front of the storm where they are creating this with lasers, where the scientists said that they can create lightning and thunderstorms. You can see ripples going over Florida here in the machine. Right here, you can see ripples of some sort. I don't know. This looked funny there for a second, like one, two, three. There it is. But why is all the lightning out here in front? And why is there weather in front of the hurricane at all? That is not natural. And you can see spirals in this weather system from their machine that still spins it. These devices are on board satellites, ships, land base. It is working as one giant machine. So odd to me that all the lightning now is out in front of the storm, which doesn't make sense except for from what the scientist said. Let's put him on real quick. Also, something that scares me that I feel like it's going to go towards Northport, but at the last second there, I see northerly movement, and it doesn't take much, and it would be going back to Sarasota. And that little distance really changes the effect on millions of people compared to 3 million compared to 1.5 million people. Highly populated areas going through Orlando to here, and you can see the difference in the road systems and all that. There is still less population in this area, about 1 million less people. No matter what, they're all very important. I'm just trying to not wipe out 3 million people. Just hopefully they want to just destroy 1.5 million people. But we are all very important, and they do not care about any of us. They have us arguing about so many different things in our lives, whether the earth is round or flat, which does not matter to anything. We're all just ants, and you cannot see the curvature. I don't care where you go. In the ocean, I can see it because Florida disappears in 9 miles, and I can see Alaska's mountain ranges 100 miles away, which is too tall to disappear so quick. But that's not the reason in this thing. This is about the storm that's in front of the hurricane, which is very unusual with lightning. Let's go to that. Stand by. I find it very odd how these machines go idle and wide open with this a flip of a switch, and it really amplifies the northern movement of the storm. That's what I'm afraid they might pull it back to the north a little bit more. They can steer this thing, guys. I watched them hit Bermuda this year with pinpoint accuracy with the eye, with a category 1, just giving them a show is all it is. But look at these individual storms firing off in South Florida here. Let's zoom on that. These storms are going to dance out here. It's very unusual. All these storms here, it's got to be lasers. See how they're stationary? They're so unusual to me. I've watched weather for 5 decades. Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be a weatherman. Thank God I didn't go down that gag order rabbit hole. I don't want to be controlled that much, but look how these storms stay stationary. These are machines, most likely on ships or even from outer space. These satellites they surround us with, it's a truly incredible machine that is very dangerous with lasers and no telling out what else is on board. This is Starlink tracker live. Most of Starlink's within 550 kilometers of the surface of the Earth. Orbit only works on a round planet to start with because these orbits are falling round and round. But right now we are surrounded by Starlink satellites that are moving. These are live. You can see how they move. But that's Starlink. I use it in the ocean. My buddy's got it right now at his house in Alaska. Let's see. Where you at? Oh, sorry. That's Starlink. This is Web 1. This is the U.S. government's internet. It is quite a bit farther. It's about another 500 kilometers, I think. Yeah, it's 1,200 kilometers out. This is Web 1, though. This is the government's internet. It is 1,000 times faster. I know somebody that uses it. This is my GPS that I navigate the oceans with. They are some of them that's obsolete. They're out here about 20 or 30,000 kilometers, 35,000 kilometers. But these are the ones I'm concerned with. 42,000. There's only 7,010 up right this minute. They want 42,000 of these. What kind of weapon would they be? This is a magazine from June 1985, The Planned Truth. They used to tell us everything back in the day. 1965, they stopped informing the public. But once they killed Kennedy, they didn't have to worry about it anymore. Once they get it all up there, there already is no army that can withstand these. I've seen entire battalions of tanks melted. We've seen what happened in Hawaii, Chile, and most recently Portugal. I got that lighting of those cities at night on lasers on film. I can see the heat source from these devices. We are in danger, my friends. Y'all need to quit watching the puppet show on TV. They are all involved, my friend. They've all taken the oath of the one world leader. My phone just updated. It's got one on it. When I climb aboard the aircraft to go to Alaska, it's got one road on it. Our one world leader has shaken hands with all the governments. They have all the dirt on them. They've all been to the island. None of them's ever going to speak against these people. There is no borders with our corporation controlled governments. They've all shaken the hands of the world leader. Our media is controlled by one entity. Every single one of them you listen to is just puppet shows. I only bring you the truth, my friends, and all I can do is share it till they remove me, and that is not long. This is the most powerful groups of people you ever want to mess with. But they are about to destroy us. World War III billions will die this time, not 100 million like World War II. These companies have more GDP, global power, than any company could imagine. They own everything, even my fish houses. That's why we went from $1.15 to 17 cents last year. They destroyed me. I most likely will never see my beautiful Alaska again. 50 cents this year, 30 cents for fish. 1980s prices with fuels almost $5 a gallon. It is planned destruction. Everybody's hurting because there's no money for food. The second horse carries scales, a day's wage for a day's food, something like that. I'm surrounded by the most ignorant tribal mentality people in my life. 2 horses are already here, my friend. We're on the doorstep of the third. There's only one more. We better come back to reality and put the games down. Football's even scripted down to their injuries. Everything's a distraction while they destroy our planet with weather control. Pestilence. Every tree in Alaska is dying from bugs that they released. Famine. A day's wage for a day's food. You don't think that's bad? Rent's as high as I've ever dreamed it could be. Superinflation through the roof. But everything's fine going back to watching your video games. Your mindless scrolls of videos. I'm angry at people. We argue over nothing. while they destroy us. Commercial fishermen standing by. I hope y'all realize why I'm really here. I'm trying to show y'all the door of the truth. And that is all I'm about is truth. Standing by.